Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So you have been asking for this video for so long now. You guys are always asking me about diet and nutrition and how I personally choose to eat. And I actually started making this video last summer, and then everything blew up and kind of happened with my divorce, so it got put off, but we're finally doing it. Today we're going to talk about everything. So you can see I have my little whiteboard here. I'm going to be doing a little breakdown with you guys about what I eat and why I choose to eat that way. I'm going to show you how I plan a healthy meal. And then at the end of this video, there's a 10-minute vlog where I show you guys a healthy grocery store haul. I show you the foods that I buy, some meal ideas, and then the vlog includes me showing you guys kind of what a week and a half of healthy eating looks like to me and my kids. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys a little bit about my thoughts on diets, carbs. You guys are always asking me about carbs, so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk a little bit about weight loss. Now, I do want to acknowledge that there's a lot of people on the internet who will try to give you advice about diet and nutrition. A lot of it that I've heard is complete bogus, you know, like all these videos with 5 foods that give you belly fat and just all that stuff like that. Just to give you guys a little bit of my background, I am a certified personal trainer with NASM. I have a degree in exercise and wellness. I have been in the fitness industry teaching fitness and training for about 10 years now, but outside of my education and just with my own personal experience, I have tried so many diets, you guys. I feel like I've tried all of them. I was a professionally trained ballet dancer several years ago, and at that time I just had a really unhealthy relationship with food. I definitely was not eating enough. I was always trying to lose weight, and so I tried every elimination diet out there. Let me see if I can remember all these. I tried meat-free, dairy-free, packaged food-free. I tried no sugar. I tried not to eat anything that was processed for a while. I did super low carbs to the point where I got so sick that I could barely even function. And I don't do those crazy diets anymore, but the combination of my education plus my personal experience with all the dieting has led me to where I am now in my relationship with food. So the way that I'm eating right now is the way that I have been eating for years now, and I don't see it ever changing. It really works for me. I feel better than I ever have, and I think I look better than I ever have too. But before we get into it, just a quick disclaimer. Everything in this video is my opinion, okay? So I'm not telling you guys that you have to eat this way. I am not saying that I have a perfect diet by any means. I am just gonna tell you guys what I choose to do, so feel free to take it or leave it. I also want to acknowledge that there are people out there with medical conditions where they need to eat in a specific way that may not be in line with the things that I am going to say in this video. So just know, you guys, always follow the advice of your physician, and everything that I'm going to say is more for general health and nutrition. All right, now before we jump into it, I want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Care of, and I'm so excited to share this with you guys. They are a company that does customized vitamins and supplements, and I think it is just so brilliant. It's so cool. So you go online and you take a short little quiz and you tell them what your goals are as far as health and wellness. And then they ask you about your diet and your lifestyle. And then based on your quiz, they use research to give you a tailored plan with recommendations for specific vitamins and supplements for you to try to help you meet those goals that you have. So when I took the quiz, I mentioned that I was very active and that I'm interested in muscle strength and recovery and also memory and focus. So they gave me recommendations for vitamins, and then they sent me this box with daily vitamin packets. So I leave this on the counter in my bathroom, and then every day I go in and you take one out like this. And they're so cute. They have your name on them. And then every package has something fun on the front, like a quote or inspiration for the day or like a little challenge. But something else that I love about these is that the actual packaging is made of plant-based ingredients. So these packets, when you're done with them, you don't have to throw them away. They're compostable. So if you don't have a compost pile at home, you can take them to your community compost pile and dispose of them there. And of course, you guys, I do try to take care of myself the best I can by exercising, eating well, getting enough sleep. You know, especially as we're getting into these fall and winter seasons, it's really important that we're doing those things to support our immune system. Now, it takes your body about 30 days to adjust to a new nutrient. So if you're interested in updating your vitamins, now is a great time to do it as we're getting into that fall and winter season. So head on over to their website, take the quiz, see what vitamins and supplements they recommend for you. And then you guys can use the link below in my description box and use my code COACHKEL for 50% off your first month of Care of. And thank you so much to Care of for sponsoring this video. All right, you guys, let's get into it. So the number one question that I am asked is what diet I am on or what I cut out of my diet. Do I do low carb, low sugar? Like, what is it? So here is what I eat. I eat everything. I do not believe in diets that give you a list of foods that you cannot have. I am not a fan of fad diets at all. It's my experience as a trainer that they are quick fixes that don't usually last. They're not sustainable diets that you can do for a long period of time and still be healthy. And oftentimes they're very restrictive, and sometimes they're just straight up not good for you. So we'll get into that a little bit more in a second. Now you may be wondering, how can you eat everything and not gain weight and still be healthy? Well, let me tell you, it's because I choose to focus on the good foods, not the bad foods. So oftentimes when we start thinking, I want to lose weight or I want to eat healthier, the first thing that we do is we make a list of the bad foods. And you guys know what I'm talking about. We make a list of all the things that we think we need to cut out of our diet. So we tend to make this list in our mind of all the foods that are bad that we can't have anymore. So we're going on a diet, we're not going to eat sugar, we're not going to eat fruits, we're going to go low carb, we're not going to eat those 5 foods that give you belly fat, all those things. So what I choose to do, instead of focusing on this, is to make a good foods list. So instead of putting my focus and my attention here on the things that I think are unhealthy that I shouldn't be eating, I choose to focus on the good foods. So instead of saying can't have this, can't have this, can't have this, I start to think, what should I be eating? What are the things that I know are nutritious, are good for my body, that are going to help me feel better? Things like fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, we'll get into all of that. It's all about the mindset. It's all about where your focus is, kind of getting out of this diet mentality of food is bad and getting into this diet mentality of where's all the good food? Give me all the good food. Because if you're focusing on this, you're automatically probably going to be eating better. At least that's what I found with myself. Often you guys paying hyper attention to this and going on a really restrictive diet can lead to an unhealthy relationship with food and yo-yo dieting. Yo-yo dieting, you guys, is that thing we do where we have a desire to eat better or to lose weight or improve our appearance. So we go on a diet, usually these fad diets that are very restrictive and not sustainable, so that it becomes too hard to keep it up. So then we quit, gain the weight back that we lost, and that can lead to feelings of guilt or shame that you feel bad that you couldn't stick with this really restrictive diet, and it can lead to your life becoming a battle with food and feeling like food becomes the enemy, and that's a very unhealthy relationship to have with food. Often, you guys, it's been my experience as a trainer and with my clients, these fad diets usually are not long-term. They're quick fixes. They can help you get weight off quickly, but again, they're not sustainable. So then we usually end up right back here and then we just cycle. And you might think, well, I'll just do the fad diet to get the weight off. I'll buy the weight loss shakes. I will go on the 800 calories a day weight loss program and I'll just get the weight off, and then all I have to do is maintain the weight loss. I'll keep it going. But you guys, if you're going through these extreme diets to get the weight off, are you teaching yourself how to eat a healthy diet for the rest of your life? Are you teaching yourself good, healthy eating patterns? You're not teaching yourself mindful eating or discipline with food or how to eat well. They're quick fixes. Here's my personal opinion about diets. If it's not sustainable, meaning it's not something that you could keep up for the rest of your life and still be healthy, then in my opinion, it's not a good idea. All right, moving on. So what are the healthy foods that I do eat? Let's talk about a diet filled with good, healthy, nutritious foods. So here are the things that I try to eat every day and in every meal. So imagine that this is a plate, okay? First of all, fruits and vegetables. You guys will see in the vlog that the kids and I just try to eat a lot of plants in general, a lot of seeds and nuts, fruits, veggies. I'm not one of those people that will not eat fruit because of the sugar content. The sugar in fruit is very different than table sugar and high fructose corn syrup, so that is a misconception that fruit isn't healthy for you. Second is lean proteins. Now, I don't always eat lean meat, but I try to whenever I can. Lean is just referring to the fat content of the meat. So for example, if you're at the grocery store and you're buying ground beef, you'll see some that is 85% lean and some that is 97% lean. So if I have a choice, I will always go with the meat that is more lean, even though it's a little more expensive. It's just all around better for you. Some other lean proteins are white fish, chicken, turkey, so we eat a lot of those too. I do eat dairy, so I'll have, cheese on my tacos, I'll have yogurt with my breakfast, I'll have milk with my cereal, things like that. Okay, now the big one is whole grains. And you might be thinking, what is a whole grain? I could do an entire video about just this, so let me tell you. So your grains are like wheat, rice, quinoa, corn, oats, things like that. Now imagine that this is a single grain of wheat. So you have different parts. So we have the harder outer layer of the grain, which is called the bran. And then inside the bran, we have the soft, fluffy endosperm. And then inside that, we have the germ, which is the core of the grain. So a whole grain will have all of these parts together. A refined grain is where the bran and the germ are stripped away from the grain, and so you're left with just the soft, fluffy endosperm. Now we do this because we found out it makes our food lighter in texture and it makes them, again, softer, it gives them a longer shelf life. But the problem is that the bran and the germ are the healthy, nutritious parts that are getting stripped away. So that is why I try to eat whole grains that have all of these parts. So an example is this will be a grain of brown rice, and this will be a grain of white rice. Like we'll do this with wheat too. So a refined grain of wheat will be made into white flour, and a whole grain of wheat will be whole wheat flour, which is a little bit firmer in texture and has more of that brown color because it has all these parts in it. Now I do still eat refined grains, and you'll see in the vlog, like we eat white tortillas. My kids love white rice. Their dad's Japanese, so that's part of their culture. But I do try to eat as many whole grains as possible. And I'm so sorry, you guys, but my camera was dying, and so I had to plug it in, which means I had to unplug my microphone, so I'm gonna try to talk loud the rest of this time. But I do try to eat as many whole grains as possible. Again, it's about that mindset. I try to make sure that we're eating brown rice whenever we can. There's whole wheat pasta. We have quinoa, corn, oats. I try to eat breads that are made with whole grains and whole wheat, so I try to get as much of this as I can. Whole grains, you guys, these are the healthy carbs. Now let's talk about carbs for a minute. I want to acknowledge that my opinion about carbohydrates is not very popular in the diet and fitness world because very low carb diets like keto and things like that are very on trend right now. I personally am not a fan of them. Please don't be offended if you've tried those diets and you like them. I just don't think they're the healthiest way to eat for your body. I'm not saying they're not effective. I'm just saying I don't think it's necessarily good for you. And the reason for that is because carbohydrates are your body's #1 source of fuel. They're meant to be your body's #1 source of fuel. Again, I mentioned earlier, I've done a lot of diets. The most miserable I've ever been was when I was on a very low carb diet. All my hair fell out. I just felt very low energy and weak to the point where I couldn't even function. And that's because your body needs carbs. Here is the problem that a lot of us run into with carbs. We often eat too many carbs in the form of junk foods, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Fried foods, fast foods, candies, sugary treats, baked goods, cakes, brownies, chocolates, all the delicious things. So I'll have a client that eats a lot of this, and they will decide to go on a low carb diet. And then as they're doing that, they'll tell me, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. And I'm like, of course you do. You just stopped eating all the food that is known to make people sick. But it's not necessarily the carbohydrates. We have completely villainized carbohydrates and become this anti-carb diet culture. It's not the carbs' fault. It's the form that you're eating the carbs in. Again, our bodies are supposed to run on carbs. We know this, it is science. The problem is a lot of us are not eating the right kind of carbs. Plants, whole grains, fruits and vegetables. These are the good carbs, the things that we should be trying to get a lot of in our diet. Now that doesn't mean that you can never have any of this. You can. It's just about moderation. You don't want this to be the bulk of your diet. You want this, and we've got our lean proteins, to be the bulk of your diet. Again, it's all about where your focus is. The kids and I do still eat unhealthy carbs. We do still eat refined grains, but we try to get as much of the good stuff as we can. We try to make this our focus. Now, you may be wondering, how can you eat, candies and cookies and things like that and not gain weight? Let's talk about weight loss for a second. I am not saying that it's easy to lose weight. I know it is not an easy thing to do, but the science behind weight loss is very simple. If you are consuming more calories than your body is burning every day, you will gain weight. If you are burning more calories than you are consuming every day, your body will lose weight. Now, of course, there are some conditions, medical conditions, hormonal imbalances, things like that, where that's not the case, but generally, that is how weight loss works. Here's the thing about calories. Your body does not know the difference between 500 calories of brownies and 500 calories of broccoli. Now, there's a huge difference as far as nutrition goes, But if we're talking about just the caloric value, it's the same to your body. So technically, you can eat complete crap and still lose weight. I'm not saying it's good for you, but you can. As long as you're eating less calories than your body burns every day, you can eat whatever you want and still lose weight. Not good for you, but you could. So if you're trying to lose weight, in my opinion, the best thing that you can do is make this the bulk of your diet. All the good foods we talked about, lean, healthy proteins, whole grains, fruits and vegetables. Try to make this the bulk of your diet. Allow yourself to enjoy these things, but in moderation. Try to exercise for at least 30 minutes a day, 5 to 6 times a week. And the most important thing that I think you can do to help with weight loss is to practice something called mindful eating. Now, intuitive eating, also called mindful eating, is something that I think could really be life-changing for a lot of people, and I swear by it. I've been doing it for years. It's, again, a lot of what we've been talking about, of getting out of this diet mentality of can't have this, being the food police. And instead, it's really focused on listening to your body and the signals that it's sending you about food. Mindful eating is all about eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're not. So if I'm really craving a cookie, I will eat a cookie. But say, for example, I'm making dinner, and so I open the pantry to look for an ingredient, and right in front of me are the cookies. I wasn't thinking about them before, I only just saw them. Mindful eating is being able to tell myself, you know, I wasn't really looking for a treat right now, I wasn't craving anything, I'm just gonna shut the pantry and go on with my day. That is intuitive eating, listening to your body. Intuitive eating is also listening to our body as we are eating our meals. So there will be some days that I sit down to dinner and I eat my entire plate of food and I'm still hungry, so I'll go get more. But there's also days where I'll sit down and eat dinner and I'll only get halfway through my plate and I'm satiated, I'm full, my body's not hungry anymore, and I only feel like I have to eat the rest because it's on my plate. Mindful eating is listening to my body's telling me I'm not hungry anymore, so I will save the rest of the food for later. Intuitive eating is also really listening to our emotions. So there may be times when we're anxious or lonely or depressed or even just bored, and so we'll turn to food to cope with those emotions. You may have heard the term emotional eating. That's what we're talking about. It's being able to realize when you're doing this, when you are eating to cope with the way you're feeling, instead of eating because you're hungry and for the nutritional value. But mindful eating is being able to realize that food is not going to fix those problems in the long term. It might make us feel good right then, but it's not going to fix what's going on. You know, if we're dealing with depression, I've dealt with depression a lot in my life, a therapist can help, certain medications can help, getting out of a toxic relationship can help. But mindful eating is realizing that food, again, is not going to fix those problems, and it's really being aware of when we're eating because of that. So it's really just all about listening to your body, again, not going on really restrictive diets and being the food police, just really listening to yourself and your hunger cues and trying to eat nutritious foods. I want you guys to see that this is doable. Eating a healthy diet doesn't mean you have to give up all the foods you love. It doesn't mean you have to go on a really restrictive diet that makes you miserable. It's about listening to your body, making sure your body's getting all the nutritious, healthy food that it needs, enjoying this in moderation, and again, shifting your focus off of the things that you feel like you shouldn't be eating and shifting your focus to the things that you should be putting into your body. All right, so we're gonna cut to the vlog portion of the video. I really tried to keep it down to 10 minutes. I didn't want it to be crazy long. We're gonna do a healthy grocery store haul so you guys can have some ideas of the types of foods I buy. And then I kind of show you a week of what healthy meals looks like to me and my kids. Again, it's not a perfect diet, but if you're trying to eat a more nutritious diet, I think it's a really good place to start, just to give you an idea for some healthy meals that you can prepare and snacks and things like that. Just so you guys know, the kids you're gonna see in the video are mine. I know they don't really look like me, but they're my kids. I have 3 girls. And you're also going to see some other people. I think my dad makes an appearance in the vlog. The kids and I have been living with my parents while I try to recover financially and everything from the divorce. So that's kind of the situation we're at right now. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you feel like you learned something and enjoy the vlog. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over really fast what I got at the grocery store and some healthy shopping tips for you guys. Okay, so we did quite a bit of damage in the produce section. The kids and I try to eat as many plants as possible. I'm not one of those people that will not eat fruit because of the sugar in it. So we have lots of fruit to snack on. We have grapes for snacking. We have apples, nectarines, bananas for smoothies. Guys, make sure that when you're eating salads with dark leafy greens like spinach, and then we have another mix over here. We're gonna do a dinner salad. I'm gonna see if my dad will grill some steak for us. We got cucumbers. The baby loves these sugar snap peas. They're really crunchy. I like to get chopped up veggies like this and mix it with salad dressing and eat that with my sandwiches for lunch. We have a bunch of bell peppers that we're gonna use for fajitas, avocados, grape tomatoes. Okay, so here's our carbs, you guys. I do try to eat as many whole grains as I can. So like right here, I have 100% whole wheat bread. Just so you know, if you buy wheat bread, a lot of the times it's just white bread that is dyed brown. You have to look for 100% whole wheat bread or look for something that says whole grain. You want the word whole in it. I love this. If you guys haven't heard of Kodiak cakes, oh my goodness, they're so good. It's just a pancake mix and you can make waffles with it too. You can see that on the ingredient list, the first ingredient is 100% whole grain wheat flour. Frozen mixed veggies, I use these to make fried rice. The baby loves kiwis. Over here is our protein. We have a bunch of salmon. Again, we're feeding a family of 8, so we have a lot of food. Got some tuna for sandwiches for me for lunch. Feta cheese because it's just amazing and the best. You can put it on everything. Yes.
Can I watch it on my tablet?
Not right now because we already watched a lot of TV today. Okay. All right, breakfast sausage because I was craving it. We're gonna make stuff with chicken, and I got some turkey sausage and ground turkey. Now here's the thing, when you guys are buying meats, especially ground beef, try to look for something up here. It says the percent lean and fat, 93% lean. That's really lean meat. Usually it'll be like 80% or something if you're just buying the cheapest stuff at the grocery store. This is a little bit more expensive to buy lean meat, but you're getting it without all the unhealthy fats, you guys. So same thing with the ground turkey. I got lean ground turkey. This is just for health reasons. Lean meat is just better for you. What? Oh, I'll come get it. Hold on, okay? Okay, Costco tip. Their bagged salads in the refrigerated section at Costco are the best. They have a bunch of different kinds. My favorite is this sweet kale chopped salad and the organic Mediterranean crunch. It's really, really good. I always get berries at Costco. They're just cheaper. And then we've got some melons. And oh, I picked these up at Costco too. I had never seen them before. So I'm gonna try them just to eat for lunches on some days. Just pre-packaged salads. Okay, so that is it for the groceries. Now I get to put all of these away. So I just need something really easy for dinner. We're gonna make some chili. Today we're just gonna go really simple. We're gonna use a lot of beans. We're gonna use a combination of ground turkey and ground beef. And then I'm gonna do a mixture of brown and white rice together. Brown rice, you know, I talked to you guys about whole grains is better for you. But my kids will not eat brown rice by itself. So that's a trick that I learned actually from a friend is to mix the white and brown rice together. So we're gonna do that. Okay, you guys, so we've got our chili. So if you just look at our diagram here, our lean protein, we've got beans, ground beef, turkey, veggies or fruit. We've got corn, garlic, and onion. There's tons of beans in here, just a lot of plants. And then for our carbs, we've got our brown rice, and I did mix it with white rice, but if you guys want to use just brown rice, again, that's totally fine. This girl loves chili. She's the chili queen.
What about me? I like chili.
Okay guys, for breakfast I'm just having a whole grain English muffin with some cream cheese on it and some fruit. Hello you guys, for dinner tonight, we're doing pasta. Now you guys know I told you I eat carbs, so I'm just gonna use regular pasta tonight because again I live in a household of people that will not eat whole wheat pasta. But if I were living on my own, I would eat whole wheat pasta. Yeah, so anyways, we're just going to... Okay, I'll get you new one second. We're just gonna mix in some veggies and I have some Italian turkey sausage we're gonna cook with it. I have my onion and garlic going over here in my pan with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter. My mushrooms in. I'm gonna do tomatoes, and at the end I'm gonna throw some spinach in there. So we're gonna make kind of an olive oil and veggie based sauce for the pasta, and then we're gonna cook these Italian sausages on the side. Okay, you guys, so I just finished teaching our Zoom class. We had body sculpt this morning and I'm really hungry. So before I actually make myself lunch, I'm gonna eat this prepackaged salad that I got from Costco. I've never tried these before, but it looks really good. And then I'm just gonna have this drinkable yogurt. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess mommy's gonna have to find a different snack now, huh?
You have to get this.
What?
I have to get this one.
Okay, so I've got some helpers for dinner tonight.
Hey, what's
What
up?
are you guys doing?
Good.
I don't want to help.
Okay, so we're going to be doing the veggies, and then I just looked in my pantry and my mom has this tri-colored quinoa that we're gonna try to make with salmon. Okay, so I'm actually gonna cook the quinoa with a little bit of chicken stock, and I'm going to put it in the Instant Pot, 1 to 1.5 ratio. Okay, so I've got my broth and my quinoa in there, and I'm just gonna cook it on the rice setting. And that's it. I've got the green beans going. There's a little bit of water in there, so they're just gonna steam. And then I'm going to get started on cutting up the fish. Good morning, you guys. Really simple breakfast today because we had to use up our leftover broccoli, so we just threw it in our scrambled eggs. Huh, Aaliyah? Probably my favorite snack of all time is chips and salsa. This is really, really good salsa from Costco. Highly recommend it. Just gonna have a little side. Just making a broccoli salad here. We've got some walnuts, we've got cherry tomatoes, a little bit of craisins. I just buy this big bag of broccoli from Costco. This is a great thing to make a lot of and then just store it in your fridge. Eat it on the side with your sandwich for lunch or whatever you're having. It can be your side salad at dinner. It's really delicious. What are you making?
We have some marinated chicken breast from Costco, and we have teriyaki,
Sauce?
and then we have some that are kind of more of a barbecue type marinade.
Oh, yum. My dad is grilling some chicken out on the grill. And then in here, have some roasted veggies. What you eating?
Broccoli.
Broccoli. Yep. So we got rice, roasted veggies, and grilled chicken.
But too much?
Is that yummy?
Chicken.
Chicken. Good morning, you guys. So we are eating breakfast right now. I have a whole grain English muffin and I put banana and peanut butter on it. You can do this with whole grain or whole wheat toast as well. You just cannot go wrong with banana and peanut butter. And then I just cut up some kiwis on the side. Oh, and I'm having a glass of chocolate milk with this because why not? Okay, you guys, for dinner we are going to make some fajitas. We're gonna use these veggies before they go bad. We've got some chicken in the microwave defrosting and we're gonna chop it all up and mix it with some spices. So this is a recipe from a woman who has a website called Budget Bites. I discovered that website in college, and she has a bunch of recipes like this that are super easy. So you pretty much just throw everything in the pan, and then we're gonna cook it all together in the oven, and that's pretty much it. So this is chicken, garlic, onion, bell peppers, and some seasoning.